Okay. Hi, everybody. It's 2 o'clock on a Thursday. I'm on my own today, so if we have interruptions, we have interruptions. Okay. Okay, let me see here. Oh, that's not it. Okay, so today we are making a Tricorn Card. Yeah, I think that's what it is. And the reason it's called that is because it looks like a hat of some sort. I think it's way back when in the military or something, and they had these things and then that peak up the front, something like that. Anyhow, so when it is flat, it goes in your envelope like so, and it will fit into your A2. And then when the recipient gets it, it just pops up like this and sits like that. Okay. And then you can also have it this way. It'll also stand up this way too. So you can do it portrait or you can do it landscape. So today I am doing landscape. All right. Okay, here we go. All right. So you're going to take a piece of paper, and it is, let me see here, where's my stylus? Here we go. And the paper is 8, I've got to catch my breath, 8 by 6, okay? And then along the long side, we're going to do 3 score lines. We're going to score at 2, 4, and 6, all right? And we're going to do some more score lines, but we have to do a little bit of measuring now. All right. Okay, so along the 2 score lines at each end, so this one and this one, so the 2 and the 6, we're going to be measuring in 2 inches. I think it's 2 inches. I will have the so 2 here and then 2 here. So I'm making a little line at the 2 and the 4. Okay? And then I'm going to do the same up here. I will have instructions for this. I wasn't able to get them done last night. All right. So I've made a little tick mark at 2 inches from the top and 2 inches from the bottom. And then here I did 2 inches from the top and 2 inches from the bottom. Okay. All righty. Okay. So now what we're going to do is, I'm going to draw, or not draw, I'm going to score a diagonal from this 2-inch mark to the corner. And then I'm going to go from this mark to this center point, from this mark to the center point, this mark to the center point, and then I'm going to do exactly the same thing on this side. All right? So I'm just going to take my ruler, and I'm going to draw. I'm going to use the smaller ball. And I'm going to draw a score line from that top point down. And then I'm going to do the same on this one. So from that 2-inch pencil line, I'm going to draw another score line on the diagonal. And then I'm going to do the same on this right side. And the same on this one. And I think I'll go over those again, trying to line it up on my scoreboard. And then I'm going to go here. And here. So you're going to have 4 of these triangle score lines. There we go. And lastly, this one. Okay. All right. Now, I don't know if I can line those up or not. I'm not going to take the chance. I thought I could go over them, but that's very difficult. Okay, so I'm just going to erase those pencil lines, so we don't need those anymore. Okay, and then I'm just going to fold on these score lines. And I'll fold this one this way. And this one this way. All right, now we're going to fold on these diagonal lines. So I'm just going to go like this. And I'll just use my fingers. And then this one, fold on there. And then this one. Okay, and this one. So this is from Mixed Up Craft. Sam, she does some wonderful things on her YouTube channels. And this one is from there. I think this is an original from her. I'm just folding on that score line. And this one, this is probably the hardest part of the card. And this one, but it's definitely unusual. And this one. All right, I got it all. Okay. So I'm just going to reinforce those score lines with my bone folder, my folds, burnish them. That, and I'm going to do the same on this side. Okay, so then it goes like this, and that's the card. So you can either go this way or that way. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to glue in here. You see that? So it looks like that, and we want it to look like this, like that. So I'm just going to apply glue into the center here. Now, I just made mine out of white. If you made it out of a color, then you would have to make some extra mats for it. I'm just going to take my bone folder and just make sure that's all glued in there. And then, so there's the card. All right, so I'm making it this way. So it sits like that. And then when I mail it, it's gonna fold like this. And then it just kind of pops up when the recipient gets it. So it's kind of cool. All right, so now we have to decorate this. All righty. So I have some pieces here. Now, because it's white, I'm not making mats for the inside or anything, because you can just write your sentiment right in here. All right, so the only mats I'm cutting are for the front here. So I'm just cutting these. So this mat, the larger one, I did it out of the Mary paper. It's 1 3/4 by 5 1/2. And then the decorative paper is 1 1/2 by 4 7/8. And this will all be in your instructions. Okay, so what you have to do on this is, and I've cut some, because we have to make it into this, what's that called? Trapezoid, I think. Is that not a trapezoid? Okay, you math people out there. I think that's called a trapezoid. Anyways, so what we have to do is we have to cut them to make them look like this, so they fit perfectly on these areas. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my ruler, and on the large one I am going to mark. I'm going to mark 1 3/4 here, just put a little tick, and then I'm going to mark on this side 1 3/4. Okay, and then I'm going to cut from this 1 3/4 to that tip, and 1 3/4 to that tip or corner. So I'm going to use my cutter. You could use large scissors. You could use like draw a line. I'm just going to line that up and use my cutter. So I'm just lining up that pencil line with the point on the corner. And there we go. Has anybody told me I'm right on that's a trapezoid? Okay, so you're going to keep the corners because you're going to use these corners. Okay? All right, so now I'm going to do this one. And this one, remember I measured, oh, I haven't done this one. So I'm going to measure in 1 1/2 on this one. So I'm going to measure 1 1/2 here. And on this side, I'm going to measure 1 1/2 again. Okay. All right, so I'm just going to cut this again. So I'm lining that up with the point of the corner. I'm cutting that off. And doing the same on the other side. There we go. We got more of these cutters in. If you don't have one in your craft room, I highly recommend it. They're Tim Holtz tonic cutters. All right, I've got a little bit of pencil line on that one. So I'm just going to erase it. Okay, so you want to keep these little pieces because we're going to be using them. All right, all of these little pieces. All right, I'm just going to slip this in. Okay, so I'm just going to use glue, because glue seems to work best on my gold paper. So I'm going to glue my mat on top of this, like that. So let's just, I notice I'm using more glue these days than I have in a long time. And I'm going to leave about 1/8 of an inch on that. Now, if you were having paper with a directional paper, you'd have to be careful on the way you cut this, because you'd want the design to go this way and then the design to go the other way. But now mine isn't, so it doesn't matter to me. But if you did have a directional, you'd have to be careful with that. So that's just a little side note for you. Okay, and then I just put this one on. Move that up. You do have a little bit of wiggle room with this glue. There we go. I have a little glue holder at home that I was gifted that I use for my bottle of glue, but I find this tube, which I certainly won't be throwing away, that is on my purple tape. It fits my glue perfect, so I can just put it right in there. See that? But I do have a really cute little holder at home that I use, but I don't have it here. But this just works great. Just stick my glue in there. All right. So now I have these little pieces. So I'm going to add my glue to these because we're going to be putting these on also. Okay. There we go. Because I'm not, I guess I should move that right down like that. So that I have the, what did I do on this one? I'll try it that way because then you have a wider edge on it there. I don't think it matters. Okay. There we go. And this one. So we have our tropical retreat this weekend, virtual. So that'll be a lot of fun. The store will still be open. But we'll just be doing our retreat. But you can certainly come and shop. All right, we got that one done. And now this one. So we have, there's 59 counting Cindy, that will be, 58 of us that will be actually making the kit, and Cindy will be doing comments. She's so good at that, isn't she? Okay, so it looks like we're good here. So we've got all our paper on the mat, so now we're just gonna put it onto our card. All right. Okay, now I think I can use my tape for this. So I'm just putting my lid on my glue there, putting it in its little case or carrier. Where is it? There it is. Alrighty. So. All right, so this one is going to go here. See, it just leaves that little white edge. Looks nice. And then I'll put the other one on. We'll put this one on this side. There we go. And then we want to catch, I made the mistake of putting them on here, I think. And really they want to go here. I'm not really sure. I had to cut extras on that one, but really they only need to go here and here, these two pieces, I think. Because I put the one in here and one here, but you don't even see that one. So I think they go here and here, okay? So that's where I'm putting them. All right. So, put this one here. And this one here. Yeah, so that's why I like that. It looks like a square then. So I'm going to put that one here. Okay. Yeah, those are the ones you see when it's standing up. And then this one here. I mean, if you want to add more, you can just cut a square and add it. And this one can go here. So there's no waste at all. There we go. Yeah, so I guess you could put one there if you wanted. And then it stands up like that. Okay. I guess it doesn't matter which way it goes. All right, so now we need to put something on the front. So I have this flower, and I just colored it. I must have, obviously I have the stamp at home, but I forgot to check to see which one it was. So I'm just gonna put this medallion on here, like so. So I just cut circles using my circle dies. And this one is, I'll tell you the measurements. This one, the mat is 3 1/4, and the actual circle for the flower is 3. All right. And then this, I'm gonna put it right here. Isn't that pretty? Very pretty. Of course, I got ink on that. Get my little eraser out. I know I had it yesterday. Well, I can do it later. Not sure where I put it. All right, so I'm gonna put it up here. So I'm just gonna put some adhesive on here. And I'll lay that. So this pops up more. I have to decide which way. I think it goes this way. All right, so I'm gonna put my flower like that. Right on there. I thought the size was quite nice. Okay. All right. And then I have a sentiment. Now I'm using the sentiment strips. And I need my little sander because I've got a little bit of paper there. I'm just going to get my sander. So the sander just takes off any of those little paper hairs. There we go. Perfect. There we go. I use it quite a bit. So this is Tailored Expressions Simple Strips. Cindy cut out for me. There we go. And then I brought some of my foam tape. So I just want enough foam tape to go across. So I'm just gonna take that off. And I will cut it in half. Well, not quite half. Just trim a little bit off. I love this tape. Love it. It's great foam tape. All right. And it says celebrating with you today. So I'll just take that off. And I think I'll just put it right across there. So there we go. It's so pretty. So that's what it looks like when it's standing up. It's lovely.